Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very special television SmackDown. And tonight we've got our host, Mark Lee, and Jerome Connor here with us somewhere. There's Mark. He's eating. And there's Jerome. So welcome to Classic Television SmackDown. And how is everybody doing tonight?
Excellent. Thank you. Obviously, Mark is running late tonight on his dinner, so he's chowing real fast, you know.
He's been very busy getting ready for our show tonight.
Yeah, he's been, notice his fro is gone. He's been pulling it out by the roots.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. We have a very special treat for you tonight. Dawn Wells was one of my all-time favorite actresses. I literally grew up with this woman. Since I was a little kid, I remember watching Gilligan's Island. And Marianne was my favorite character on that show. And as the years went by, I saw her on various other shows. She guest starred on a lot of shows, not just as Marianne. Everybody remembers her playing different versions of Marianne, but she played a lot of different characters. She was in a lot of films. She was on stage, which she loved. She actually wrote some books. And so I want to go over not just Marianne, who we all love tonight, which we will, but I want to explore her career and her legacy. Unfortunately, she died at the age of 82 untimely due to COVID on December 30th. And I was just in shock when I found out. She had spent Christmas Eve on Facebook talking to fans, and nobody knew that she was dealing with COVID at that time, except for probably some of her close friends and people she worked with. So everybody was kind of shocked when they found out. I know that I was heartbroken because her space on Facebook was full of light and very upbeat, and I looked forward to seeing that. And I have to say that her management team has done such a wonderful job keeping up her legacy and posting stuff that Dawn would be very proud of on that Dawn Wells site. So if you have a chance, please check that out. So tonight we're going to celebrate Dawn, and we've got a very special guest that we're going to have at the very end, Dreama Denver, who we got to interview on Wednesday night because unfortunately she couldn't be live tonight, or she would have been. But we did an amazing interview, and it was so long that Garrett from HWWS, he got it edited down. It looked really nice. So I'm hoping everybody will enjoy that when we get to it. A few things about Dawn. She was born in 1938 in Reno, Nevada. She started acting in the early 60s, and I was going through trying to find it was amazing. Her catalog of shows is just mind-blowing, but a lot of the early stuff is not available. But I was able to get one of her earlier roles on a show called Burke's Law from 1964, where she guest starred as Wendy. And that's clip number 1, if you've got it, Mark.
If that's a sample of a good morning kiss, what do you do for an encore?
Shall I tell you and show you?
One more kiss like that and we'd never get to the beach. You promised last night, Amos.
Boss, hate to disturb, but got to see you.
Not now, Henry. Later. I thought this was your day off.
Floating crab game will have to wait. This matter of life and death.
What's wrong with your neck?
Serious condition, boss. Get serious, sir, if you don't come.
Don't move. I want to always remember you as you are.
Without makeup?
Don't worry. When I get back, you'll make up.
Lucky
Isn't that something else?
Lucky guy.
Yeah, that was an interesting episode too. I watched almost the whole thing. That was really fun.
I gotta say, man, Marianne was one of my favorites, and the more you showed me of Dawn and the stuff she's done, wow.
Oh, I mean, isn't that just a scorcher? I mean, that's the opening scene.
Yeah, that's 1964, and I'm already getting warm just watching it. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she just grabs the screen. I mean, she just had such a personality that just everything that she did, she just shines. And she went on. The '60s was full of westerns. They were like the staple of nighttime television. So she played on several of those. One of those being Bonanza. She was actually on there twice. But we're going to show the first episode that she was in 1962. It was called The Way Station. And this is an incredible episode. If you guys want to see some great work by Dawn, I actually had 3 clips originally set up for this one episode. And then when I found out about our guest star, I'm like, I'm going to cut back just to the first one. So, but if you guys have a time and you can see The Way Station on YouTube, please do, because if you love Dawn, it's an incredible show. Go ahead with clip 2 when you're ready, Mark.
Hello.
Well, hello.
The wind's really blowing up a storm out there.
Sure is.
Kicking up sand and dust.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here instead of there. I want you to listen to me, young miss. I don't want any more trouble with your grandfather. So I think it would be best for all concerned if you just turned your little old self around and went back into the house, all right?
Grandpa's asleep in the chair. Does it every night after supper. Been watching him do it for 8 long years.
Yes, well, I still think it would be best if you,
I didn't come here to see you. I came here to get one of my books.
Oh?
I hide him in here from Grandpa.
Why do you hide them?
Because they're about places.
What kind of places?
I'll show you. This one is about New York. It's got pictures in it, too. Have you ever been to New York?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, what's it like?
Well, it's big, noisy. It's got lots of people.
Yes, that's what I thought. Lots of people. I bet it's like all the big cities. Rome and London and Paris. My grandpa doesn't want me to know about those places. Watches over me all the time. Won't let me even talk to anyone. Especially boys. And men.
So, what do you think about that? That's something. That episode is, you know what it reminds me of? When I've watched that scene several times, and it harkens to me like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon. You know how she wanted, Belle wanted more than this provincial life. She wanted to be a traveler. Right. And this character is very similar. And this is way before Disney, folks. I'm thinking Disney ripped off this episode of Bonanza, to be honest, And it's a very beautiful story about her character. And I really enjoyed that.
They used to call how she looks the girl next door look.
Oh, absolutely. But she was a model, man.
I never had a neighbor look like her. Okay. I don't know about Mark, but there was no women next door to me in any of the places I lived that looked like her. Oh, Mark, we can't hear you. Okay, so, but man, I agree that I'm gonna have to go watch that now.
Oh yeah, it's worth your time. It's a very sweet episode, and it's mostly focusing on her character, and that's why Bonanza, I think, lasted as long as it did, because they were really character pieces, and they did, they were little stories, And that
Okay,
show
can you
went on
guys hear me
forever.
now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
look.
Yes.
In all honesty, Dawn Wells was supposed to be my girlfriend.
Nah.
And, you know, there's a lot of women back in the 60s that I was enamored with, but Dawn Wells, and I don't mean to sexualize her in any way whatsoever, but she was supposed to be my girlfriend.
Listen,
Okay.
I'll be honest. When I was what Mark's talking about, the age that he's talking about, I had a thing for Ginger. Okay, I'm not kidding. Okay, she was all of and then I got older, and then I looked and went, you know what, Marianne, much better. You know.
Yeah, day one for me it was Marianne. Day one. And I don't know what it was about her, you know, that did it to me, but you know, it was definitely
in your case, Mark, I'd say it was the common sense of the character.
Her intelligence. You're right. It's
Yes,
the common
absolutely.
sense.
She is very smart.
Yes, she's very smart in all the right places. Yes,
and
I
she
agree.
plays. And I've seen her in a few others. Some that I'm sure that Rose is going to show. She always plays that quiet, smart person that you really totally.
Not always.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to miss one. All right, this ought to be fun.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's one on here where she's a little bit feistier, but coming down the road. But so sticking with the westerns, I really wanted the one from I think it was Wagon Train, but I couldn't find it. But they show it all the time on MeTV. It's a great episode. But this next episode is pretty interesting too. And Jerome, you're gonna recognize a really a face that you're really gonna recognize, and it actually goes into your upcoming show. On this episode of the Wild Wild West that Dawn guest starred in, and that was in 1960. No, that was not. That was 1968. 1968, the Wild Wild West. So go ahead and show that clip.
Okay, which one was that?
Those bumpers. I love those bumpers. Oh, he found the wag. How did you do that? Man,
well, you
are
should
the
have
man.
asked. You should have asked in the first place. But real quick, I was waiting for Steve Austin to bust into the room and save the day.
Which episode was this, Rose?
The Bonanza episode? You know what? I don't have it written down here what the name of the episode was.
I'll find it. Now I gotta see that.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because those are some serious smoldering eyes that she was giving him. Whew.
Absolutely.
Hey, let me know. Do you want to play this Wild West one now?
Yeah, Wagon Train. Yeah, go ahead, play Wagon Train. Let's go ahead.
Hopefully it'll work. We'll know in a minute. Cool. So stand by, guys. My computer is on its last legs. Is
that her in the hat? Can't really hear anything.
There's no audio, but we can see her. That's you know, that there you just get the idea of it. I mean, look at how young she is, man.
Oh my God.
That's just great.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry about the audio.
That's
it wasn't
okay.
really...
At least we got to see some of her in that Wagon Train episode, which is great.
Wow, that's great.
So Dawn's career really took off when she ended up getting the role of Marianne, winning it from Raquel Welch, by the way, on Gilligan's. Yes.
Oh my God, that would have been on an entirely different show then.
And you know what? I'm so glad.
That would have been an entirely different show.
It really would have. Yep. So the cool thing about Gilligan's Island is that, you know, it wasn't just a show about the castaways. Well, it was, but they were able to do a lot of different things. This show was only on for 3 seasons, but there was 96 episodes made.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is the difference between now. I mean, now you get 6 episodes a season, you know, if you're lucky, you know, but they had 3 seasons. Unfortunately, they were canceled. You know, there's just, you know, they were canceled way too early by CBS because CBS, the brass didn't like the show. God bless you. It was entirely popular, but the brass didn't like it. So they canceled it. That's what happened with Gilligan's Island. Now, the people, you know, if you read a lot of the books, you know, a lot of the people who played on that show, they were a little bit embarrassed about being on that show, but not Dawn, not Bob Denver. Okay. Dawn relished that role and she loved Marianne, you know, and she was always very thankful for that character. And not only did she get to play Marianne, but she got to play some various inside roles on that show. Yep. And I want to show probably the clip she might be most famous for. Everybody remembers this episode. It is it's actually, we're going to play clip number 8. Okay, it's called
I want to be loved by you and nobody else but you. I want to be loved by you alone. Ooh-ooh-be-doo. I want to be kissed by you and nobody else but you. I want to be kissed by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I couldn't miss.
I seem to have forgotten the words. Maestro, would you start the record again, please?
Yes, anything you say, Ginger.
I want to be kissed by you and nobody else but you. I want to be kissed by you alone.
I don't know what's the matter with me. Maybe if I just dance it, I'll be all right.
Okay.
Wow.
That episode is called The Second Ginger, and what the setup is that Marianne ends up getting amnesia and thinks that she's Ginger.
Yep, I remember that one.
I think it was in the 2nd season. It was in 1967. Just a really, really great episode. One of my favorites as a kid, actually. I really loved that one. I felt bad for Marianne, but you know, everybody loved Marianne for being Marianne. She wasn't, you know, even though she did play Ginger and Marianne later on, but we'll talk about that at another time. To go on with the versatility of this show and the characters, I want to play clip number 4, which is another one of my favorites. This is from the episode called The Producer. It was in the 3rd season, and it guest starred Phil Silvers.
I love this one.
Father, my ship sails at the tide.
A moment, my son, for I have something to tell you.
I ask only for my allowance.
Ah, but I shall give you something far more valuable. Advice.
You know how much wine you can buy in Paris with advice.
Paris is a wild and wicked town, and you are but a young and innocent boy.
Oh, could I tell him a few stories?
Heed my words, Laertes, and you will be safe.
Unless I listen, I won't get my spending money. So I'll listen.
Neither a borrower nor a lender be. Do not forget, stay out of debt. Think twice and take this good advice from me. Guard that old solvency. There's just one other thing you ought to do. To thine own self be true. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. Do not forget, stay out of debt. Think twice and take this good advice from me. Guard that old solvency. There's just one other thing you ought to do. To thine own self be true.
Quiet! I love that. That's my favorite Gilligan's Island
That whole episode is so wonderful.
That is my favorite episode of all.
Yeah, I love Dawn's eye rolls and her expressions, while he's singing that song. It's just
did you watch when in that song? You watch the Ginger's just sort of like standing up there, bored out of her mind. That was great.
So the next clip I'm going to show, and this is my last Gilligan's Island clip, though. This was Dawn's favorite role. Anytime she was interviewed, she said that this was her favorite role on the show, where she got to play Eliza Doolittle. And this is a crazy little episode called And Then There Were None. And Gilligan, it's a dream sequence, and he's it's like he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and there's all kind of cast of crazy characters in this dream sequence. So go ahead. This was Dawn's favorite of Gilligan's Island. This was her favorite working on this episode.
Well, maybe not that one. Okay.
Come on here, get along. There's someone waiting here to see you. Oh, none of that now. Here, Missy. What is it you want with the likes of a terrible criminal like him?
I'm just a poor cockney flower girl, that's what I am. But I owes everything to Dr. Gilligan here. He taught me to walk and to talk and to dress like a regular lady. He give me real class, he did.
He did that to you?
Yes, he did.
You beast.
Oh, don't pay him no mind, Dr. Gilligan. I believes in you. I believes you're innocent.
Alas, you're the only one. Everyone else believes I'm guilty. No barrister will take my case. I shall go to the gallows, an innocent lamb. Innocent, innocent, innocent. And besides, not guilty.
Bravo, bravo. I've got good news. I found someone to take your case.
A barrister that will take my case? Oh, gadzooks and goody gumdrops. But where is my defense counsel?
There.
You're putting me on.
La la, la la.
Oh.
Yes, and that is that's Mrs. Howe playing Mary Poppins as his Barris.
I love this woman. I just so love this woman. So talented.
So Gilligan's Island, as much as it was panned early on, especially by the critics, it has been on so many different it's been on around the world. It's still on today. I think at one point it had never left the air. It was continuing on and on. And you can still see it on MeTV. They show it on Sundays, I think, now in the afternoon.
It's
at 3 o'clock for the 3 hour. They're still doing the 3 hour tour.
3 hours of it, yes.
Yeah, I think it's from 2 to 5. I think
something like that. Yeah, after Brady Bunch. Yes.
So and you know why it stays around? Because it is just you've got some great characters, you got some great storytelling, and it's funny. It just doesn't die. I mean, it didn't age, because they're on a stranded island. You don't, there's no cell phones. There's no, now it would be no cell phones in the technology song,
No cell phones, no luxury cars.
Hey, look, if they had cell phones, they would have been off that island in an hour.
If that long.
But so what do you guys attribute to the staying power of Gilligan's Island?
Well, it's clean fun. For one thing, it's silliness, goofiness, is creativeness, because you've had guest stars galore fall on that island. And for writers to think up a scenario each and every week for an episode of Gilligan Island, I think is just a stroke of genius. Just like the Batman series, 1966, every celebrity was basically dying to get on that show. So that's what I saw, and I just love Marianne. I
I think Gilligan's Island, let's be honest, it's a really stupid show. Okay, I mean it's not. It doesn't require a lot of thought. You watch it, you turn off your brain, you immerse yourself, and you're on that island with them, and you're smacking your head like Skipper and all that, going, why are we not getting off this island?
Yeah, but these characters are iconic.
And that's what I'm saying is you don't have to be invested in the entire run of the series. You can pick up any episode, anytime, and you know what the heck is going on. Okay. It's just one of these that there's good chemistry among the characters and the actors. So they may or not worked well off the screen, but the chemistry is solid there. It was from a much innocent more time than today. We looked at these characters, and I mean, granted, Mark and I are discussing Marianne versus Ginger, okay, and I'm sure the girls were talking about the guys' side of it. And also the girls' side too.
I don't really think so. I don't really think that girls ever thought about that. But you always heard the whole Ginger Marianne argument.
Yeah, but it's a preference of female. It's a preference of what you like on a female, and Marianne basically encompasses everything I love in a female on a physical level. I honestly thought Ginger was. I mean, she was gorgeous. She was very, very pretty and attractive. But throw someone like Marianne into the mix, which you should never do, because there goes the competitive edge of that. But Marianne, based on what I grew up on, what I like in a female, had everything. She was innocent and she was built like a brick house. I'm sorry.
But she was actually smarter than everybody gave her credit for too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't concentrating on her brains at that time, but you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. She did.
So I have another question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did you sit there live when Rescue to Gilligan's Island came out?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I remember watching it as a kid. I remember I saw all three of the movies because the Rescue was like one of the biggest rating hits at that time.
It was. I walked away from the Harlem Globetrotters one, the third one. I went, I can't do that one.
Well, don't tell Dreamer that. Don't tell Dreamer that.
But you know what? All three of those shows, I think, were
they were big ratings
to try to get back on the air.
Rose, you had mentioned something about celebrities who were not happy with being on Gilligan's Island. What was her name? Russell, Mrs. Howell. Mrs. Howell was one of them.
Natalie Schaefer. Yeah.
Natalie Schaefer thought it was beneath her to be on a show of this level because of the humor and like Jerome basically emphasized the craziness and the silliness and the stupidity of it. Well, the actors themselves basically saw this as a serious flaw in their career. And I think Ginger was one of those.
Tina Louise washed her hands of it after the initial run.
Yes,
that's why Dawn. Yeah, okay.
Okay, hold on. Thus, this replacement Ginger, as you see in this, in one of the knockoff, 2-hour TV movies or whatever.
Yeah, I think that was Rescue. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get it.
But what was interesting on that was this, Natalie Schaefer was for the longest time pretty much the only one who got residuals from that show. Okay. She's the only one who had a decent agent. But there was for a while just about everybody distanced themselves from that show. I mean, they may not have privately, but publicly they did distance themselves for it just so they could get other roles. You know?
Yes. In fact, I remember Tina Louise in one of my favorite movies. And my cats are fighting. Sorry. Yeah, she was in one of my favorite films, Stepford Wives. She had like a small role in that film. But yeah, Tina wanted to try to get away from it as much as possible. And so when they did the cartoons later on, when they did Gilligan's Planet, Dawn Wells did the voice of both Ginger and Marianne. So she was, once again, Ginger and Marianne.
So she was the embodiment of the debate.
Yeah. Yep. So that's pretty cool that she was able to do that. But Dawn went on to do some other stuff too. She kept on, she guest starred in a lot of stuff. She was in The Love Boat. And I found this gem of a clip from Vegas. Does everybody remember Vegas?
Yes, Robert Urich.
Robert Urich, yeah.
I got to meet his wife.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's another story for another day.
So in 1978, she had a guest role on there. So go ahead and play clip number 6.
You give up?
No.
Oh, jeez. The next time I challenge you is going to be arm wrestling. No, on second thought, make that pinochle.
Why did you make it backgammon? I'm a championship pinochle player, too.
Come on, all the amateurs, off the court. Come on, Gino. You're stalling. Let's warm up. You're still hung up on him, aren't you?
Probably always will be. I hate his guts.
Yeah, you and 150 million other people. Hey, Gino. I was thinking, maybe you ought to play it with Millie. You belong in women's tennis. You start up with me again, and this time you will eat my racket. Oh, Gino, when are you gonna learn? When you're on this court with me, you're number 2, I'm number 1. Hey, I said all amateurs off the court. Go.
Wow. Well, I've got to find that episode. I'd really like to see what happened at the end of this.
Yeah.
So this is it's available on YouTube. That's how I found it anyway, and I want to watch the whole thing myself. So I was really interested in that dynamic. That guy. It was around the time John McEnroe, I think, was really big into. He seemed like the John McEnroe type,
Yes,
kind of a big jerk mouth. Yeah, big jerk.
Yeah.
So she played in that, and then she was also in like The Love Boat, and she did a lot of other shows.
The Love Boat. You can't say that title without somebody breaking into that. Okay.
He's right. He's absolutely right. You got.
It comes with the title.
I know all the words to that song. Okay.
I'm sorry.
The Love Boat is my Zen show. When I'm like down,
you know what?
And I watch The Love Boat.
You know what? Classic Television SmackDown will be doing a show on The Love Boat, and I think that's going to be your next show, Rose, or one of ours.
I do want to do like an Aaron Spelling show.
I was going to say that's an Aaron Spelling show, isn't it?
Yeah, I do want to do some of that.
As long as you let me sing. As long as you let me sing.
Of course.
Well, The Love Boat.
And speaking of Love Boat, everybody on Saturday night used to be glued to the TV watching Love Boat, and then right after Fantasy Island.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there a show between them? Because I always thought it was a threesome. Love Boat, something else, and Fantasy Island, because Fantasy Island was on at 10 o'clock.
Well, I remember the one in the middle then.
We're supposed to be professionals. This is our show. Right, somebody better come up with that info.
I will look it up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rose. Keep going.
I remember watching, I don't remember watching anything in between. I remember watching Love Boat and Fantasy Island. So there's a brain block on if there was something in the middle. I think there might have been a show on at 8.
Yeah,
and then Love Boat, because I always thought it was Love Boat, Fantasy Island back to back.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Fantasy Island, so okay.
I enjoyed Fantasy Island. It used to creep me out as a kid. It was a little kind of creepy show.
And, it was a Lost, kind of a Lost in the 70s, you know.
Yeah, and I used to watch it, you know, and I'd be like, you know, like a little kid, I'd be like, oh my goodness. I mean, one time he actually fought with Satan. You know, he had that. That was a creepy episode. Yeah. But in this episode here that we're going to talk about, this is Dawn. This is in.
You were right. You were right.
What was it?
What was
there was nothing between. It was Love Boat at 9, Fantasy Island at 10. So I was right about the timeline.
In the summertime when I could stay up as a kid, I would watch both. It was, you know, before my bedtime. You know, I stay up till 11.
I really miss the 70s. One of the reasons why I started this show was because I wanted us to focus on some of these shows that we all loved, especially back in the 70s, even though we're doing 2000 and below. But the 70s, I really love all those shows that were on. I'm sorry, excuse me.
That's okay. So this episode is called "The Way We Weren't." They had it was sort of the formula of the Love Boat, where they had different writers and different segments of the shows. So this is Dawn's segment. Go ahead and play the scene number 7.
It's happened in 5 years, Freddie boy. You've done very well with the company.
Not bad, Vic. Not bad.
Well, you could have done a lot better. Now, if you'd have hitched your wagon to my star, if you'd have followed me to Cleveland like I wanted you to, let me be your guide, you'd be vice president by now.
Never mind about work, Vic. Tell him about the party.
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of friends flying out from back home. About 8 couples, all members of Swingers International.
Did you say swingers?
Swingers? I used to dance with the best of them. Benny Goodman. I had all his records.
Oh, well, we really have a ball, if you know what I mean.
Hey, that's for sure. And you're both invited as my guests.
Tell me, what kind of a party is this going to be exactly?
Oh, it's a private party for adults. Oh, you'll meet some plus people. I mean, people of power and influence, including some members of our board.
I didn't bring my tux. What are we supposed to wear?
Whatever turns you on, Freddie boy.
Excuse me, I'll get dessert.
I'll give you a...
I am so jealous. Oh my!
So Dawn plays a swinger. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So that's that's a really kind of fun episode. If you guys catch it on, I watched it when I was getting the clips downloaded. That's Fantasy Island. It's called The Searcher and the Way We Weren't. That if you on YouTube.
That is unbelievable.
The guest star, you gotta love Fantasy Island, Mark, for the guest stars. You'll just be like totally in this. It's like nostalgia.
Sure, you know? it's like Love Boat. I watched an episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah.
I saw an episode of Love Boat last weekend where it was Tom Bosley and Marion Ross who were couples coming on the ship.
That's just incredible. Isn't that
I'm like,
great?
wait a minute. Something's wrong with this picture here. You know? That was great. Oh my God, I just love it. I love Dawn Wells. Oh,
so Dawn kept working, and up till 2019, and then we had the whole COVID thing hit. She was still guest starring on shows. She was on The Bold and the Beautiful. She guest starred on Alf at one point. I think she played the role of Marianne in that one. She was in Growing Pains. I mean, there's not like the shows of the 80s and the 70s. There's if she's usually in an episode of one of them. She just had this really great career. And unfortunately, I think she'd still be acting if it wasn't, if she hadn't been taken from us, at the age of 82. Yeah. In fact, she was so looking forward to a show that came out right after she passed away. It was supposed to come out earlier, and it got held back. But it's Dawn Wells' Real Adventures, REEL. It's her fishing show.
Oh wow!
And because she loved the outdoors, and so it's on Amazon. and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but it's something that I really do want to look into. Couple more things about Dawn before we get to our special guest interview. I just wanted to talk about a couple other things that Dawn did in remembering her. She had her own clothing line for people with disabilities called Wishing Wells. She got the inspiration. She had a friend who was in a nursing home, and she wanted to make like designer clothes that were easy to take on and off, so they wouldn't have to feel, these people wouldn't have to feel so frumpy and like gowns and stuff. So she had that for a while, and I remember watching her interview on Entertainment Tonight when that was going on. That was in the early 90s. She had a Marianne's cookbook, which is still available. And she had wrote a book, I think it might have been 2017, about her time as Marianne. If you go on to YouTube, there is tons of stuff. In fact, Dreama did an interview with Dawn Wells back, I think, in 2018, 2019, and you can find that on the internet, on YouTube. Very so there's such a great but if you want to know about Dawn, if you want to remember her, there, just go on YouTube. There's tons of interviews. She was on a show where they talked about some of the memorabilia from Gilligan's Island, and she was going to sell some of her stuff at one of the auctions for the Gilligan's Island movie, which never happened.
Right.
So there's, that's out there, and you can watch that too. I remember watching it when it was originally on. Dawn Wells was amazing. I really enjoyed her career. I followed her career, and I followed her, up until her passing. And I just think she's one of those people that, she wasn't Marianne, okay, but she embodied that spirit, and she had a lot of life and and she did a lot for people in her own life too. And she's going to be greatly missed. And but luckily we have almost 40 years of television to remember her from. Probably even more than that.
All right, so before we go on to your interview, let's go ahead and pay some bills first. Okay, so stand by.
I'm GW Pomacher.
I'm Dina Marie.
I'm Sage Ia.
I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
Hey, I'm David Thompson.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hey there, this is Dave Adams.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Rose.
Jerome Conner here.
Hey guys, it's Josh Bauer.
It's Willow Schuyler.
I'm Cosplay Michael.
Abba.
It's your boy Country.
I'm Ryan Permison.
And I'd like to ask you guys,
please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please, please, please
subscribe. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe to HWWS
Web TV.
Great bunch of people.
And don't forget to smash the bell.
Ring that bell.
Smash that bell.
Hit that bell.
Hit the bell to be notified.
Hit the bell to get notified of new shows
and videos.
You're going to want to do that, so do that soon. So we can cross that 20,000 mark.
And get us to 100,000 subscribers.
To 1 million, and 10 million, and 100 million.
On HWWS.
Web TV.
You'll really like it. I guarantee it.
Thank you.
Dawn Wells, that's saluted by Classic Television SmackDown, and we are back.
Hey, everybody, please subscribe. Okay, we are at 20,000 right now on HWWS, and we want to get that to 100,000. So just go over there and do that. So we really appreciate it. It's free. It's free, people, and there's not too many things that are free these days. Okay. And you get a great content.
Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the people that you don't even know on the street corner.
All righty. Garrett, back in the producer's room there, is going to be playing your last clip for the evening. So folks, hang around. We're going to talk a little bit after the clip. But this has been our tribute to Dawn Wells, and we have a special clip for you. If Rose, you would intro that.
Yes. Okay. So on Wednesday, I had the great pleasure and honor of speaking with Dreama Denver, who is the wife of the late Bob Denver. As everybody knows, that's Gilligan. And she was amazing. I loved having her on. She's just a genuinely great person. Has some great stories of her own to tell as well. But tonight we're going to focus on Dawn's our memories of Dawn and her memories of Dawn. So Garrett, when you're ready, go ahead and play that interview, please. It's my pleasure and honor to have with us tonight Dreama Perry Denver, the wife of the late TV icon Bob Denver, known to everyone in the world as Gilligan. And she is an award-winning author, an actress, a broadcaster, and a philanthropist. So please welcome Dreama Perry Denver to our show. I know that recently you wrote an article about Dawn Wells.
I did.
It was in the April issue of Our America.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk to you about your friendship with Dawn and how you met and some of your favorite memories of her.
Friendship. We were friends for almost 45 years. So, oh gosh, Dawn, I still can't believe she's gone. I have to be honest with you. You know, we live on opposite ends of the country, so it's easy to think that she's still there and I'm still here and we just haven't talked for a while. So Dawn and I met on the set of Rescue from Gilligan's Island, the first Gilligan's Island movie. We just clicked. Well, all the cast, they were all so wonderful and so welcoming and just embraced me and treated me like I'd been around forever, you know. But Dawn and I, we clicked in a way that we talked later about it. We knew later that Bob obviously was the catalyst. Being married to Bob, being his wife and everything was what brought me together with her. But Dawn and I would have met. We were on the same theater circuit. She was doing shows. It's a miracle that we hadn't met before, because either I would have been cast in a show with her or our shows would have followed each other on the circuit. We would have met some way, somehow. It was just destined because we just hit it off. And she was, you know, Dawn was, for anybody who's met her, anybody who did ever went to a personal appearance that she just had this life force, this huge life force that you couldn't imagine ever being extinguished. You just couldn't imagine that ever dimming. It's still hard for me to imagine that.
You know, she had such a rapport with the fans, especially on her Facebook page.
Oh, she did.
And I know that she also helped out with you in the Denver Foundation.
She
and
did.
Could you just explain a little bit about what she did and in the Denver Foundation?
The Denver Foundation, Bob and I started it to assist families dealing with special needs. In our case, autism, but any special needs. And so, gosh, this is back in, Bob passed away in probably back in 2009, when I was getting myself together and finally trying to take over the foundation. I did a celebrity auction here in my home state of West Virginia, and asked Dawn if she would come and appear, and she did it without hesitation. She was like, absolutely, I'm so there, and came and did that for me. And then years later, and this would have been February of 2019, Dawn, I called her. I was doing a concert. I was putting on a concert for our veterans. I also do a program I founded in the state of West Virginia, the Honor Flight program. We call ours Always Free Honor Flight, where we honor our veterans. And in 2019, I was doing a concert for Always Free Honor Flight, raising money for that program. And I called Dawn, asked her if she would come and co-host the concert with me. It was going to be starring Maya Sykes from The Voice and Landau Eugene Murphy Jr. from America's Got Talent. And we just had all these wonderful, Dave Damiani out of Atlantic City. A lot of really wonderful performers were coming in. She said she would love to do it. She came. And the thing about that is we co-hosted the concert. She was coming for 3 days. She got here. We were having so much fun that she decided to stay 2 extra days. So we had 5 days together, with the only responsibility being the concert. All we did was girl talk and eat and sleep and watch movies And I look back on that, I had no idea that would be the last time I saw Dawn. And that was the last time we were together. And just by the grace of God, we decided to extend it by a couple of days. And we had the most wonderful visit, the most wonderful girl time. And I am so thankful that we had that time, because
it was a shock to me, when I found out that she'd passed away, because I'm like, well, she was just on a couple of days ago,
yeah, she had been right before that. She had turned 82 years old. And we talked on that day, and we would go a month or two, sometimes longer, depending on how busy we were, without talking. So, I'd spoken to her on her birthday. She was fine. We had a great conversation. She was, like all of us, tired of lockdown, wanting to get back out on the road and get with her fans and do projects and have things going on. I think the lockdown was probably very hard on her. This is just my opinion, but Dawn had spent her entire life. I mean, she'd been famous practically her whole life. For 60 years, she had been well known. So I think, it was hard on everybody, and particularly hard on somebody like that, who is a people person, who wants to be with the fans, who wants to, spend time with them and sign autographs and hear their stories. One thing about Dawn, she was the most curious person. She and Bob shared this quality, which I always loved: curiosity about everything. I mean, if you came up to her table and she was signing an autograph, and she would ask you, okay, now what do you do? And whatever the job was, you could tell her you were the janitor at the local high school, or you were the CEO at, some big company. She was equally interested in everybody, and had nothing but questions about any and everything that you would tell her. She was endlessly curious. And I think that was a huge, that was a huge addition to the life force that she had, because she was genuinely interested in everything and everybody. And her life took her into so many different situations that most people, don't find themselves in. Can I tell you a funny story? My favorite, she was a world traveler. And at some point, after Gilligan went off the air, and I'm not sure exactly when this was, but she went to the Solomon Islands in the South Pacific. And so she flew into whatever the biggest island is down there, right? She flew in, and they put her in a canoe to take her they were canoeing her to the island where the chief lived, which was obviously one of the smaller islands. So they get to that island, they disembark. Dawn, steps onto the soil, and the chief and his wife come out of the hut to greet the new visitor. And when they did, the chief's wife started screaming, "Marianne, Marianne!" She was screaming it all over the place, because she had gone to nursing school on the bigger island, years before, and had watched Gilligan's Island every day during that time. The castaways couldn't go anywhere. They couldn't go anywhere without being recognized. Even a little dot of land in the South Pacific. She spent time with the chief and his wife, and of course got treated like royalty, because she was Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on to pay tribute to Dawn. And it means the world to a lot of people. Dawn was a light in the world. She was America's sweetheart, and she's going to be missed.
It's a huge loss. But I just think of her and the castaways all together again, doing whatever they're doing. Dawn is asking questions from the minute she got there, I'm sure. And I just comfort myself by thinking they're together again, and how wonderful that is.
With regard to you, where can people get in touch with you? Where can they find your book? Not only Gilligan's Dreams, but your award-winning book, Four Bears in a Box, a children's book that you wrote.
I have a children's book that is a multi-award winner. I'm so proud of it. Four Bears in a Box and Gilligan's Dreams. If you want them autographed, you can come to bobdenver.com. I love when people order there, because it allows me to write a note and say something in the books, which I love to do. If you're an Amazon person and you just can't do without your Prime, and I'm partially guilty of that, I hate to admit it, you can also get it at amazon.com. But but I can't autograph those. So if you want autograph copies for Mother's Day, for gifts or anything like that, then bobdenver.com is the place to come.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I want to wish you a very happy Mother's Day as well.
Thank you so much. And you too. Thank you. And to all the moms out there, happy Mom's Day.
I just loved that interview. It's just it's my first really big interview, and I'm so glad that was the first one because that was just so special. It was
I am
something
really
I'm gonna live with
sorry.
forever.
I am sorry I missed that.
Oh, Jerome, it made my little heart go boom boom boom. It was just it was beautiful.
Oh, Mark, you muted. Mark. Okay.
Sorry about that. Wow. And the fact that it was edited, Garrett, I want your thoughts, Garrett, on because you sat in on the interview as well. And because Dreama's a writer and you are our writer pro, our go-to guy in terms of any authors that we bring on, I'd like to know just from your thoughts what you thought of the interview and of Dreama herself.
Garrett, you're muted.
You're muted, Garrett, I think. Oh, let me unmute you. I can do that. Oh. There you go. Whoops. My bad. I hit the wrong button.
Okay. All right. Hi, everybody.
What did you think, Garrett?
First of all, with regard to the interview, it was a fantastic interview. There was so much in the interview that we do have. We have, I think, 11 or 12 minutes of interview left here in HWWS Web TV Vault for Mark or Jerome or Rose, anybody who wants to run it during a show where she talks a lot about her marriage and her life with Bob and her books. It was a wonderful interview. The parts about Dawn were there about 9 minutes, and most of it was just so wonderful and candid. She was so open with her thoughts and her feelings about the cast and about her life around them, and it was wonderful. So I enjoyed the interview very, very much. I enjoyed it. For those of you who are out there in the world who do some video editing, when you edit something, you often get to see bits of it 100 times while you're cutting it together. And I have to tell you, I never once got tired of hearing her stories and her observations. And so, editing it and seeing all of those clips 100 times, it was still wonderful. Rose, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you, and thank you, Garrett, for the editing. You did a great job on that.
I want to say also, because of that interview, we have booked Dreama Denver for 2 more shows. 2 more shows, folks. One of them is she is actually getting up, and she is located in West Virginia, but she's actually getting up at 9 a.m. to be a co-host with our Saturday morning cartoon show. She is getting out of bed, and she's going to be a co-host on Saturday morning cartoons. And then HWWS, along with Garrett here, will be having her to talk about her books.
Yes,
she's doing all of the animated Gilligan's Island spin-offs for our Saturday morning cartoon show, and she is doing Garrett, and that's going to be in about 3 weeks or so. And she'll be with Garrett talking about her book. And that's mainly because and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of history behind this. Typically, and I'm going to mute you for a sec here, Garrett, because I got your sound in the background. When I work with celebrities, the celebrities absolutely have no idea who I am. Okay, whether it's at a convention or whether it's direct contact through email or telephone calls. They don't know who I am, don't know what to expect. There are a lot of bad interviewers out there. There are a lot of people that take advantage of the interview and do not know how to handle an interview properly. Because Rose interviewed Dreama and was so enamored by her job, felt so at home with us as the HWWS family and NBL Entertainment Group, she has agreed. I didn't even have to beg. I didn't have to get on my knees. I didn't have to offer her money. She is going to do 2 more shows with us, and mainly because of her comfort level, her comfort level with us, and that's what we try to do. We try to grab people to bring to you, and sometimes they're unannounced, but you guys need to stick with us as a network and see exactly who we have, who exactly is our guest on these programs that we offer. So we are really, really happy. I mean, 2 guys, not, please
Mark,
dream to come back. Go ahead.
Mark, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you very much, Mark, for reaching out to Dreama and to so many that you have for the network and for the shows.
I did it for this woman. Damn.
Yes.
Fingers.
Well,
Wait a minute.
I'll tell you what.
Hold on. How do
You know what? That was the best earliest birthday present you could have gotten me, Mark.
It was, and you know what?
It meant so much to me.
It was a present to the whole network, to the whole HWWS Web TV family. Dreama has, since the interview, Dreama has friended us. She has actually dropped by to several of our broadcasts through the week. So if you're out there and you're watching this show and you want to maybe run into Dreama in the chat room, she has actually been taking an active interest in all of our family of stars this week since we met her. And it's wonderful to have that kind of friendship. And that's what a great interview like the one that Rose did really brings to us. And that is, we don't just get a new subject, we get a new friend. And we really appreciate it.
I have always said, it's who you know. Okay, it's not what you know. It's who you know in this business. And she is already contacting people in her realm of celebrity circles to come to this show. And it's really interesting because through her PR person and another PR person, we've gained a pretty good library of people that we may, knock on wood, in the future will have on these shows. So we're building our audience here, and I'm really happy about that. I have stuff in the works right now that I can't reveal until I get some confirmations. But this is what we do, guys. It's for you guys. Rhonda, if you're still watching and listening, hello, sweetheart. It's really great that you're here and you're watching this. Rhonda and I go back a few years under different circumstances, which was very incredible. But it's nice to see people who I've friended in the past are finding out shows and actually engaging. So Rose, you did an incredible job. I'm really proud of you. The fact that we had to set up the interview what was that? Was that Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had to set up the interview on Wednesday night, and then we had to perform again for the show on Friday with your show. It just happened to fall into it being your turn. Everything just worked out really great. I'm really happy and proud of you.
The thing was such a labor of love for me when we first started this show. When you wanted me and Jerome on the show, the first show I wanted to do was Dawn Wells. So and it's not only that. Mark, Dreama, I got to learn about an incredible woman on top of all of this. Okay, so Dawn's memory, plus I got to meet this amazing woman, Dreama Denver. Okay, she's incredible. Her life is incredible. What she's doing for the Denver Foundation and the honor flights, and her book and her books too. She's got an incredible life story, and I'm hoping that we're going to get to learn more about that.
And because she's just been so, I'll get to you in a sec, Jerome. Because she's been so incredible to us, we want to help her. We've gone into helping her to promote her books that we've never even knew existed until we met this woman.
Exactly.
And, we want to push that and get as many people as possible. I mean, I love it if Dreama would contact us later on and said, "Hey guys, you wouldn't believe how many sales I've made in the last week." That's great. Go ahead, Jerome.
So. I really hope so.
I gotta say, I mean, unfortunately, due to my personal work schedule, I was unable to attend this interview. Rose, what I saw, absolutely great interview. I'm very proud of the work you did as a friend. I'm jealous as hell. Okay.
Hey, Jerome, it's better than what you've seen because we cut up the hell out of this. And
I know.
We had to cut out literally all of the Bob Denver conversations that were held. Only because we wanted to save that for the Bob.
I want to tell all of you on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else, there is about a 12-minute bonus features video that talks about Bob and their life together and the books that are out there and some great anecdotes and stories. And I'm not allowed to show them to any of you. Mark has said that the ransom on that is at least $50,000, and I have not been able to come up with the ransom. So not until Mark gives us the all clear
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon.
You know, Dreama's the type of person I could have done a 4-hour interview with her. Okay, that's just that is just how good it is. And there, and on YouTube, there is an interview with her for 4 hours.
I get the feeling that this is the type of person that you go to her living room, you bring a couple of bottles or maybe a case of wine, and you just sit back and you chat.
Dreama did not want to stop. I stopped her.
He made me stop. He kept sending me stuff. You know, he's just like the taskmaster. He's like, it's 15 minutes. You got to be done.
She would have went on forever. And I remember when we were doing the interview taping, I had to private message Rose, Dawn Wells. And I'm
just like,
it's like, oh my God.
You see me in the video, I like look down at my phone for a minute, and it was like
we can't use this material, for God's sake. She hasn't even started up on Dawn Wells yet. It's like, oh my God, what are we doing?
Oh, that sounds like fun. It
was great.
I'm sorry I missed it.
It was wonderful.
I can't wait to see when we bring her on Saturday morning.
Yeah. Make sure
she's got some stories, man.
Yeah, Jerome, make sure you friend her and the message. Tell her who you are and where you're from, because she hasn't met you yet. And
oh Lord.
Yeah, no. Make sure you friend her, because we're all on her friends list now, and I've been getting her news feeds and things that she's involved with, and I'm still enthralled with a lot of that stuff outside of Bob. You know, it's like, wow, look what she's into. That's pretty freaking cool. So, oh my God, this has been a great and incredible show. Ladies and gentlemen, classic television SmackDown is us. This is what we do. There's so much material to cover. It'll probably take us 125 years to actually cover everything that you guys grew up with. I want to do Surfside 6. I want to do Peter Gunn. I want to do, my God, I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning watching Highway Patrol, for God's sakes. Then it's Dragnet after that, and I haven't even gotten in the shower yet. It's like, stop it. My Three Sons comes on at 6:30. I leave the house at 7. This sucks. Okay, so
I mean, I've been watching Quark. So
where are you finding Quark?
I have it on DVD.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because
yeah, but
Addams
also,
Family.
You can also find them on Vimeo.
Yeah, well, Addams Family just started up on MeTV. That's their latest installment. But there's so much stuff, under the year 2000 that we're gonna cover. It's just a matter.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention right away, guys. I was happy to have my debut series, Mark Knows Everybody, which I didn't create that title. Somebody threw it on me, and I thought I'd use it. And it's basically focusing on you, my friends. Excuse me, I'm trying to burp. I had a rough. Wow, I had a rough week. Anyway, so it focuses on our friends, and basically they're on my friends list. These people that I do know and know of what they've done or what they do on the side, and nothing or no one ever focuses on that side of them. And I thought I'd create a show just basically to bring them into the spotlight. That's my intention, and I'm going to keep that going. I'm at a list because all I did is ask for people to be a part of the show. Now I have a list where I have to do literally 2 people, 2 shows a week to get through the freaking list, at least the first phase of it. That's ridiculous. Okay, I just asked. I didn't expect anybody says, yeah, put me on.
Jerome and I are not listed to be on that show.
That's right.
No, and I did that on purpose, for God's sakes. I think these folks see enough of us. Who gives a damn? I think at some point during each show that we do, each and every or twice a week or whenever we do these shows, that people eventually will know enough about you that you don't need a spotlight. You got the spotlight.
No, not really. Your list is incredible and vast.
Yeah, it's at some point I'm hoping to get through. Last night's show was incredible with John and Dion and Jack, who I had on the show. That show turned out.
Jack's fun.
Yeah, look, I like flying by the seat of my pants. When I'm on stage, sometimes interviewing guests at conventions or whatever. A lot of times, of course, all the time I'm asked beforehand, before the convention starts, do you know anything about these people, or would you like to have these people? And typically I say yes. Of course, admitting to not ever having seen the show. So I cram like crazy. Before I get them all up on stage sitting next to me. And I'm telling you, I fake a good game, man. I do an excellent job.
I remember you used to ask people when you were doing Dragon Con, you'd ask people like 2 months ahead of time, do you know this show?
Exactly.
Give me details.
I put up posts.
Supernatural.
Yeah, it was like.
I remember you did Supernatural. You had never seen an episode, and what did we do? We made you sit down and watch Scooby Natural and a few others, and then
it's
you
like,
pulled it off.
This is incredible, and I had something to talk about while I was up there on stage. So anyway, so this is what we're trying to do here on the HWWS Network, the NBL Entertainment Group. We're trying to bring you people, even if we don't know. We didn't know who Dream of Denver was, for God's sakes. I don't know. When I did my searching, this name came up. I'm like, there's a widow, you know, and I reached out to her, contacted her, and look what we got, the accolades that we got from her.
Amazing.
And
again, Mark, so much more coming. So much more, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Mark, if you will allow me a moment of indulgence, here's a little tiny taste of so much more to come from Dreama.
Show us more.
Really? I'm going to have to do kissing scenes with Gilligan? Seriously? Little did I know. I mean, from the minute Bob and I met, it was just electric. He said to me, do you ever want to write a book? I don't want you to sugarcoat it. Tell it like it was. Dawn and I met on the set of Rescue from Gilligan's Island, the first Gilligan's Island movie. We were friends for almost 45 years. Can I tell you a funny story? My favorite Dawn story. All we did was girl talk and eat and watch movies. I had no idea that would be the last time I saw Dawn. Bob and I had one child together, and he was diagnosed with severe autism. And then I'd have to go back and, of course, talk about, Bob's diagnosis and Bob's death. That's the reason I wrote the book. When I tell you I did not think I could survive, I'm not kidding. I did not think there was any way in the world that I could live without Bob. He had given me so much love and devotion and commitment would allow me to keep going.
That clip! I want that clip!
It's in your clip box.
Of course. That was awesome. What a nice promo for at least classic television SmackDown. That's fantastic, Garrick. You are a wizard. You're a wizard behind the screen, dude, or behind the mouse, I should say. So thank you so much for that. Whose turn is it next week? Or in 2 weeks, because we do this show.
That would be you.
Oh, damn it. Oh, man.
We did the pilots. We did Irwin Allen. Now we've done Ron Wells. And now it's cycled back to you.
Oh.
Mark, I don't, Mark, you know me. I don't typically, other than coming on when invited or in the studio area, I don't guest on many of our shows because there's just so much work to do in the background. But I'd like to come on with you guys and sit with you guys and do because Mark I know loves the 70s, and so does Jerome, and so does Rose. I'd like to do 70s variety show.
Oh,
hired.
As long as you include my personal favorite.
But yeah, we will include as many as we can all think of.
No. What would be your personal favorite?
I was a huge Donnie and Marie fan.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, I've got albums.
These are the whitest people I've ever seen in my entire life. For God's sake!
Oh yeah, the variety.
Oh my God!
Okay.
We've got to. What a great idea! What a great idea, Gary.
All I see are teeth when I think of them. That's all I see. Oh my God! Okay.
All the variety shows were great.
Garrett, you are hired. We're gonna have you as a guest host. We'll do 70s variety shows. Get your clips together. Thank God I don't have to do any of the work on that end. Give me your list of what shows you're going to cover so I can go ahead and pick some photos, or you go ahead and upload the photos into the studio. This is going to be great. This will be the least amount of work I think I've ever done on any of these shows. TV variety show. 7. Hey, if you don't have Soul Train on there, I'm gonna knock your mustache off. Okay.
70s is the disco era. How can
you better have? Look, I may have to dig up a picture of me with a fro. I think I can find it.
Wait a minute.
I want to see your bell bottoms.
All right, ladies and gentlemen on HWWS Web TV, I make you this pledge. Tune in to Classic Television SmackDown when we do the classic 1970s variety show edition. Those of you who come and tune in will be entered in a drawing. When Marks shares the picture of him with a fro, I will send you a signed print of said picture if you tune in and we draw your name from the hat.
I'll do one better. I'll do one better. Before the airing of that show, and you'll see the date of when that show is going to air, if every viewer would take a picture of themselves in 70s garb or find a photo of themselves in 70s garb, we will show them. We will show them.
I gotta go to my dad's house and dig.
I have to call my mom.
I have a photo of me
there is
that I've got to dig up.
There's
Hey,
a
if you
picture of my
still-
sister and I.
Yeah, if you still have a freaking flatbed scanner around, there's your opportunity to take all of those Kodak pictures, even the negatives. I'm sure somebody out there still developed negatives, and send them to me so I can upload them and show them on the show. That's going to be a kick-ass show.
Oh, I got pictures of me as a kid in the 70s that I'm afraid to send, but I'm going to send anyway.
This is not a horror show, okay? This is not a horror show, okay? But I honestly think that if you guys send those pictures so we can go ahead and challenge any pictures that Jerome send us, that is going to be a kick-ass show. 70s.
I just want it known, I was in the 70s, I was a little tyke, so I do not take responsibility for a single outfit that my parents dressed me in.
Okay. Hold on. Shut your face, Garrett, because I was not a little tight in the 70s, okay? Kiss my mocha ass, because I'm gonna tell you now, I had the high heel boots, I had the bell bottoms, I never tied my shirt in a knot around my navel.
Why am I visualizing Mark as Huggy Bear?
Close.
You guys heard it here. You heard it here. You want to tune into this show. It's going to be amazing.
Look,
Garrett,
I just didn't have the hat, but
Garrett,
I was in the 70s discos. I was a go-go dancer.
Garrett, I got 2 words for you on your variety show. Coochie coochie.
Oh, my God.
Only old folks like Garrett, Mark, and myself will recognize that reference.
And for those of you who don't know, that was a guest spot on every variety show on our day.
Okay, Cheryl in our chat room is saying, I got to look for pictures now. That's right, ladies. mblshowhost@gmail.com. Once again, mblshowhost@gmail.com. Send those photos for our 70s show. I'm thinking of sacrificing my show in 2 weeks and just have Garrett on to do that show. So this is gonna be an absolute nightmare. I suggest no drinking at the time.
There will be a lot of drinking.
No. You have no idea what projectile vomiting is in my system. Okay, so
Mark, you gotta take it a little easy because we've got to be up bright and early tomorrow for our Saturday morning cartoon show.
yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? That kind of sucks for the show to be on a Friday, and we're gonna sit here doing theme songs from the Bee Gees, for God's sake.
At least Jerome is hosting, and you don't have to host tomorrow.
Well, Garrett, all I'm going to be doing is working the board while Garrett he's got a team there, so I probably don't have to do anything but just run back and forth to the bathroom. I mean, I think this show is going to be hands off for me. Yeah, so guys, make sure you find those, and we're going to go ahead and advertise this probably across all of our shows. HWWS Network, of course, will probably do a commercial, as talented as they are, about the 70s show on classic television, SmackDown. Garrett,
70s variety show.
Yeah.
Garrett, are you listening? Look
am.
into my eyes. Look into my eyes, Garrett.
I right here. I'm right
ready?
here.
You ready?
Yeah.
You gotta come in costume. You gotta host this show in costume. Okay. Garrett, if you forget what to wear, I think Starsky and Hutch is on Decades. Okay.
I have one word on for what he needs to wear: seersucker or polyester. Either one works.
Well, I'm just looking forward to the chest hair and a lot of freaking chains around his neck. So, So if you ain't got it, find some glue and some Brillo pads and glue those suckers to your chest. So you gotta come in costume. You got 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Our next classic television SmackDown special will be focusing on the 70s disaster. I don't know. We'll figure the title out. Or
oh my God!
like
I think I know where all my pictures are too. That's the
It's
problem.
a soul train wreck.
With our guest co-host Garrett Palmacher in drag or whatever you plan on wearing.
Right?
Whatever. And studio, what was that? Studio 54? Studio 54.
Yeah, 54.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, everything went. There was no hose bar or anything like that. So we're looking forward to Garrett being in costume for his show. I will not. So we will focus all of our attention on Garrett. That is going to be a kick-ass show. So you got homework to do, dude. Homework to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think we're in trouble. I honestly
I'm just thinking about the clothes I wore back then as a kid, and I'm going,
hey, wouldn't it be great if Sage, walked back and forth across the screen dressed as Charo? if she had a long blonde wig and hip huggers.
Wait a minute. Does she dress as Chara, or does she dress as the Carol Burnett version?
Hey, look, but the interesting thing, I'm having problems here. The interesting thing about that is if she walked across the screen as Charo, I wouldn't have to worry about this crap anymore. Okay, so I mean, I think that's a brilliant idea on my part. That she get in a blonde wig and she get made up too. That's going to be the 70s show.
Oh my God.
Disco era 70s show. Something. Oh my God. Disco era 70s show.
Well, it's variety. It's the variety shows. It's
disco era variety shows. Okay.
Oh my God. I just remembered the most horrifying one.
Yeah,
we are so screwed.
Just to pre-warn our audiences out there, there may be during the course of the 70s variety show a number of times when we accidentally go silent on purpose, because I am quite certain that we cannot make it through a 1970s variety show hour without violating at least 17,000 Motown copyright claims.
You got that right.
Yeah.
You got that right.
You know what? The Brady Bunch had a variety show too.
That's true. They did.
Was that the 70s or was that the 80s?
That was the 70s.
The 70s. Oh God. Yeah. I've got to dig out my Dynamite magazines.
You've got to see some of those costumes from the Brady show, man.
Yeah. Hey, Garrett, you're right. There's going to be a lot of 10-second clips, but that's okay. we can get through a show with a lot of 10. There's a lot of music back in that era, dude.
Oh my God.
I danced through them all. I may wear go-go pants. No, that's a lie. But anyway, so I won't wear go-go pants.
Oh my God, I gotta find all that stuff now.
2 weeks, Garrett. You got 2 weeks.
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, Garrett. What's that?
We'll be ready. We'll be ready. Now, Mark, no surprises for this because it'll be tight enough with all these 10-second clips anyway. So if Cher shows up, never mind. Go ahead.
No. If Cher shows up, man, you're off the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, Classic Television SmackDown is in no way responsible for any of the content that you may see during our future shows. We ask that you lock up your children. We ask that you have sex often. I don't know. and just beware, because in 2 weeks' time, there is going to be, what did Michelle just say here? There's a Star Trek Love Boat SNL skit that includes a Charo character. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, also understand that the characters you will be seeing during the show are not real. Okay, they are they are crude representation and facsimiles of what you have dreamed of being with, except me. And we will honor any decision that you make if you decide to tune out on that show in 2 weeks' time. So in 2 Fridays from tonight, we will be having our Disco 70s variety show here on Classic Television Showdown, because you know what it is we do? We do it groovy, baby.
Can you dig it?
I do.
Can you dig it?
Oh my God, we're just gonna keep on trucking.
Oh, this is
I think it's time to call it a night.
It is. I think you're right. Everyone, tomorrow morning is Saturday morning cartoons, and it is Jerome's time. Jerome, you want to talk real quick about what it is you're showing us tomorrow?
We are doing earworm theme songs. Those theme songs that you are not going to be able to get out of your head all day tomorrow. So be prepared to get the ice pick to go into your ears to start getting those theme songs out. And at the end, we will be talking about the late, great Billy Hayes.
Yeah, you know what? Your choice was horrible because
Give me a better choice.
Since you announced that, I've been humming the hell out of everything.
Just so you know, these were tested on the people of Amazon.
In restaurants, sitting on the John, I'm humming crap. No pun intended. I'm humming crap like crazy, and this is like going to be a great show tomorrow. I think, guys. If you have theme songs that you can remember just off the top of your head for cartoons, okay, don't go 60s sitcoms. Do cartoons. If you know of any right now, you're going to actually enjoy this show tomorrow. So, hey, on behalf of Jerome and Rose and Garrett, we thank you guys for this wonderful salute to Don Wells. Rose did an incredible job. This is what we do, guys. We bring this stuff to you because you are part of us. There are no celebrities here. There's just family. So thank you guys for joining us tonight, and hope to God we see you guys soon. So take care. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everyone.